Hello my beautiful little muglets. So this video will be a little bit of a experiment. This is the first time I'm recording a portrait game on the iPad and I'm not too sure how it's going to look. But since it does have a much more square aspect ratio, I feel like we'll get a bit more of the actual game. So I hope that turns out well. But basically today, I'm just going to give some updated thoughts on 7 Deadly Sins here. I'd say I only really started playing it yesterday with the account I was playing when I made the initial video. I stopped playing that account because like the next day, one of my buddies was like, hey, I was re-rolling a bunch and I got one other good account that has this green Meliodas on it, and without even asking if I wanted the account or not, he gave me the password and login information. So I was like, alright man, I can't pass that up. I know almost nothing about this game, so I'm gonna trust that it's an actually good account. So yeah, it started with the green Meliodas and Fighter Diane. On my first free reroll, I got Hunter Slater, and Ban I got from the guaranteed SSR ticket for spending $4 in the diamond shop. So yes, I did do that. I thought it was totally worth it. If you want to be strictly free to play, that's totally cool, but $4 for a guaranteed SSR, For the record, that is the only money I have spent so far. Although the subscription bundles are quite tempting, I will say. There are a couple small things like little tips that I've learned from playing, that I've learned from other sources, some other tips they have given me. We're actually not too far along in the story because I've just been exploring all the different things. You know, there's tons of dungeons and events going on as well, so I've been poking around there. Haven't really been focusing on the story too much, but I would recommend focusing on the story as high as you can. Currently we have about double the AP as what's required for like our next story stuff, so we could go a lot further if we were just to focus on it for a while. Because through story you get access to pretty much everything else, all the other dungeons, you know, PvP eventually, guilds. So yeah, trying to go through story as fast as possible is a good idea. So one of the first small tips, like there's a ton of different entry currencies like dungeon keys, gold keys. They're very, very valuable, so make sure to never have them at cap. So as soon as you open like gold dungeons and all that, start using those keys immediately. You have to do every floor at least once. I wouldn't start spamming till you can get like much higher, but if your keys are getting close to cap and you just don't have enough power to continue on and go to the next, then just do the highest one you can. Just make sure you don't ever have max keys because those are very, very valuable. But just to show off one other little tip that maybe not everyone is aware of, and this has to do with the XP you get at the end of the stage. You can see we have 2 level 50s in there. That's their current max level, and then our non-max guys get both 720 XP. I purposely raised those two to level 50 to see how the EXP is shared, and from what I've noticed, it is not shared. So these two aren't getting more XP because the 2 middle ones are level 50. So what that means is you should have as less as possible max units because that's XP that's getting wasted. Usually little things like that I personally don't notice, but I figured it might be important, so I actually took note of how much XP like 3 non-maxed are getting and then 2 non-maxed, and it was the same. We can also talk a little bit about equipment because this is something that is totally different from any other game I've played. Like the general overview of gear is pretty similar to a lot of other games like Epic 7 and you know a lot of other RPGs, but how it actually works is quite different. A lot of the people I've talked to have recommended C grade gear. This is what you should be raising most efficiently is going to be either C or SSR gear, because C ranked gear is very cheap to upgrade, and the higher rarity you go, the more expensive it is to upgrade. So that's pretty typical, but the real difference from this game and other games, we're actually gonna buy a couple so we can demonstrate that, and we're gonna go ahead and enhance it. You can see here we only need 1 of these stones, whereas like for SRs, SSRs we need 4 and 5. So it's also very cheap gold-wise, 200 gold instead of like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8,000. So once you get to +5, you can awaken it. And now this is where the real difference comes into play. We're gonna awaken it, and we're going to see a substat down there. This bonus, it's pierce rate plus 4.1%. Speaking very generally, in the bonus section, you basically just want HP, attack, or defense %. And as far as gear goes, this is the only place you can get %-based stats. All gear comes with flat attack, HP, or defense. So what we can do is reroll that, and there we got 1.2% attack. It's unfortunate, it's on the much lower side. It's from 1 to 3%, so ideally you want more than that. It also should be noted that the main stat in this case is attack 75. So we're at 65, but we also have +10 from enhanced stats, which is again on the lower end. We're gonna try and get that a little bit higher. It's pretty cheap, 1,000 gold, and C, 74. I'll take it. So on our second substat, we got 2.1%. It's a bit better, fine. All right, so what am I getting at? Basically, these bonus stats down here, the 1.2% attack and 2.1% attack, these are going to be the same regardless of gear grade if you're upgrading C or SSR. Those stats are always going to be between 1 and 3%. at least when we're talking about attack, HP, and defense, which if you want high combat power is what you're going to want. Again, generally speaking, some units will benefit more from other stats. So in summary, maxing out a rank C piece of gear is going to give you the same bonus stats, the percentage based stats, as an SSR, but much cheaper. So for early game trying to power through the story mode, this is going to be the most efficient. It's actually not really recommended to upgrade SR gear because eventually you will need SSR gear, and the cost for SR gear isn't that much different from SSR gear, and it will need to be replaced, so you're kind of wasting resources there. Of course, C grade gear will also be wasted, but you're not investing as much into C grade gear because it's much cheaper to upgrade and change things. So basically for early game, you want to do only the right side though for a C rank gear. And the reason for this is because as far as the main stat is concerned, there isn't as big of a difference from C and SSR on the right hand side gear as there is on the left hand side gear. So comparing these two runes you see on the screen, one's a C with 686 HP and one's an SR, we don't have any SSRs, with 1582. Yeah, of course, that's an 896 difference. It seems like a lot until you compare the left side stat differences. You can see here, C rank belt, 925 starting HP, SR rank belt, starting HP of 2934, over 2000 HP difference. So you really want to try and get SSR equipment over here and common over here. Eventually, of course, you want to swap out all the commons for SSRs. As for sets, of course, you want your damage dealer to have like the attack set, and then with the other two sets, you can go defense, or maybe crit damage if they have like naturally high crit rate. Expanding this tab here, you can see the rest of their stats, so he has 21 crit chance, it's not super high. Of course, you can raise that somewhat with the bracer and ring bonus stats, you can get crit chance there. Hunter Slater starts with a bit more at 30%, it says 60 there, but he does have a crit chance set on. I might switch that around a bit. I did a lot with gear before I knew exactly what I was doing, so I'm gonna have to rearrange a lot of things, but yeah, you know, take a look at your dude's stats, you know, see what's best for them. So I know we spent a significant part of the video just talking about gear, so that's, I guess, the main topic of the video. But in case you didn't happen to notice, you can get this C quality gear very easily from the equipment merchants in the towns. This guy sells attack sets, I think the others sell different sets. And yeah, the chapter 2 guy sells defense set equipment. For SSR gear, I'm not too sure currently, besides opening chests for them. I can't really recommend that yet. I tried it a few times just to see what was going on. Didn't get anything super good, so I wouldn't recommend that early on because it is very expensive. Of course, I believe you do get one free one per day, so of course do that. And as you can see, you have a 4% chance to get an SSR. It's super expensive though, 200k for an 11 draw. It's at least expensive for me right now in the beginning, so there's a lot of other things you can spend gold on. So anyway, second impressions of the game. I love it so much. It has this like super addicting nature. There's always just things to do, and there's like a big ball of mystery behind a lot of things. The story is so damn good as well. I am super invested in it. I haven't skipped a single sentence. It has my full attention. I like the fact they sometimes force you to manual, at least like during story mode and stuff, because I really do like the gameplay style. It's just a little hard to not auto when the option is there, you know, because you know your dudes can do it when you're like so much more powerful than what's required. I'm still a bit confused about a lot of the things, but I'll get there. It takes a long time to unlock PvP. That's pretty unique as well. And also guilds. I don't think you can go into a guild until like chapter 6, I've heard. So that's pretty crazy as well. I'm not sure if I should start my own guild, honestly, if anyone would actually join. I might. I'll have to see what's required, really. I'm also saving my diamonds pretty hard because I'm not sure exactly what to spend them on yet. If just for stamina, if I should go for pulls, if I should get costumes, I don't even know. But I feel like I have a decent enough team with these guys. I've heard he's like really good as well. We got him for free from chapter 3, I think. Just got him actually, so I haven't raised him yet. I mean, I'm looking at a tier list here and he's rank SS, the highest. Since there is no triple S. Probably because he has some skills that I haven't really seen on any other characters yet, like debuff removal. Also, if you can rank that up, he'll also heal. So, yeah. Healer. I don't have any healers, so I'm probably going to raise him. I just have a bunch of single target damage dealers, which is kind of unfortunate because I really am missing my AoE from Gauther. I think he was the SSR I pulled. I mean, obviously this account is better by miles, but that AoE was pretty fun. But yeah, I suppose that'll pretty much do it. I know this was kind of random, kind of rambly. Main thing was gear, I would say, because it is definitely different from anything I've seen. The fact that C rank and SSR rank have the same potential as far as substats go, but then of course main stat is impacted a lot, just less so on the right hand side. But yeah, any thoughts you have, drop them in the comments down below. Leaving a like if you do enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time.